Welcome, everyone, to Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom. I'm Savage Hound Dusk, and today we'll be playing through a brand new game, going straight through the story mode. And we're going to start with Yugi's mode. There are two story modes to start, Yugi's mode and Kaiba's. They take place from the perspective of these respective characters and kind of go along with each other in terms of timeline, but they're honestly better played separately in a relatively self-contained series. This is a tactical RPG strategy game, and it is based on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game series owned by Konami. Konami, honestly, this is one of a million Yu-Gi-Oh! Games you should probably try to remake and actually do something really cool with. If you're not going to be that interested, Liz, I won't force you to watch too hard. I understand this was probably not your bread and butter wheelhouse. So here we go. With Yugi's story mode. Get a little bit of a animation from Slifer there. I actually like that. War campaign. Those who claim to control the gods are in fact controlled by the gods. Alexander Irvine, philosopher. That would be my girlfriend's account there. Oh, I didn't realize I had to press a button in order to get that to go forward. Well, this must be the lab mentioned in that letter you got. SIC Domino Labs. Yeah, this looks like the place. It's pretty far from the city. There's nothing else here. Doesn't the building look futuristic? SIC is a famous overseas game company, isn't it? You hear slightly, we'll be shaving and showering. Alright. Welcome, Rev. That is my secretary, Liz, there, Ivy. She has been my moderator for quite a while. It's a new game company that just started here in Japan, but it's already becoming a major player. Although it's relatively new, it's gotten pretty big by releasing a bunch of innovative games. They've been using 3D images and virtual reality research to create some amazingly lifelike environments. Sounds like a lot for a company to make. According to this invitation, they're doing exactly the same kind of work as Kaiba Corporation. SIC incorporated in cutting-edge technologies to develop next-generation virtual reality technology. SIC hopes to work in the field of games to perfect this technology using wildly popular duel monsters. SIC plans to further develop the technology through gameplay. Their technological goals may be scientific, but if they're using duel monsters, I want to get a look at it. Me too. This is so exciting! But why do they send invitations to us? I think they sent invitations to everyone that ranked well in the Duelist Kingdom and Battle City tournaments. Yeah, but Taya wasn't competing in either of those, and neither was Tristan. Just you and Joey. In order to test the new Duel Simulator Kingdom, SIC is sponsoring a test trial. I respectfully ask for your assistance in helping us make Kingdom the best game it can be. It also says to bring friends if you want. Naturally, I thought of you guys right away. So that explains why Taya, Tristan, and Bakura are here. They're three of Yugi's dearest friends. Joey and Yugi likely both got invitations because they were high rank. Just so we're all clear, I'm here because I did so well in the tournaments. Oh yeah? Then where's your invitation? They must have sent it to the wrong address. Yeah, sure. At least we know that Yugi is here as a finalist. That's it. Come on, Tristan. I'll take you right here and now. Stop it, both of you. This is no time to fight. Look, there's someone from the lab waiting for us. Let's get going. You must be Yugimoto. We've been waiting for you. Uh-huh. That's me. And these are my friends. Wonderful. Let's all go inside, shall we? I do think it's funny that even though Joey places very highly in most tournaments, he somehow never really noticed. Dick move, universe. Yeah. Hey, Yugi, didn't we see this guy at Kaiba Corp once? I think so, but all the people of Kaiba Corporation give off the same kind of weird vibe. You are correct. I did work for Kaiba Corporation. Jeez, he heard us. We're almost at the main lab. What in the world is this? This is SIC's latest simulator, codename Kingdom. That's not what that is. That's literally a ripoff of Kaiba's Dual Disc. This is just a prototype. We're only using the Dual Disc for packaging reasons. It's all original SIC hardware on the inside. Is this what you used to recreate the world of Duel Monsters? Yes. Our tests of Kingdom have been very successful so far. We've constructed an entire fantasy world based on Duel Monsters. We'd like you to help us test the simulator by simply playing the game as you normally would. The simulator supports multiple players, so you will all be able to play at the same time. Hang on a second. Oh my god. I'm trying to find a list of where all the monsters are here so that I don't miss them, because it's very easy to miss them. In multiplayer mode, everyone joins the game as a different game character. My father's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba. That's the real quote. These new games are so awesome. The kingdom is a fantasy world. The card monsters there are alive. You will all join the resistance and fight against the Empire, which is suppressing the general population. Of course, you'll all participate in the game as different characters. The game is currently set for a few hours, and we'll be recording your play data from there. Here.
Cool! Well, what are we waiting for? Let's play!
Yeah! This is so exciting. I wonder what it'll be like. Yugi, does this seem on a level with you? Huh? What do you mean? This whole simulator seems suspicious. You're probably just overreacting. Ah! It's about to start! After 300 years of ruling the Rondaval continent, the Sigvarth's empire is faced with a crisis. Since the 12th Emperor Heishin ascended to the throne, corruption and brutality have spread throughout the empire. You may recognize Heishin and the guy behind him as the High Mages from Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. This game series, when it comes to a lot of their video games, they really like to reuse other characters. Fantasy, huh? What is this now? Pokemon? That's more aligned than you think it is. The people suffer oppression, but their complaints have fallen on deaf ears. Heishin and a select group of his underlings have been living in a lap of luxury. Their lavish lifestyle is supported by heavy taxation, which has pushed most of the populace to the brink. People on the fringes of the Empire have responded with rebellion and revolt. This uprising has extended as far as the northern part of the Empire on Vaxi Island. What's the matter? I don't know, but I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Kingdom Simulator overload. Safety lockdown engaged. Beginning transition to Mode 2. Transition to Mode 2 complete. Kingdom Simulator lock-in mode activated.
What's happening? Ah! Yugi. What happened? Lord Yugi! Lord Yugi! Wake up, please! Lord Yugi! Oh, my head. You seem to be coming out of it. Where am I? Huh? You're in Port City of Makad, on the western edge of Vaxi Island. You lost consciousness suddenly. You just passed out, in the middle of our meeting. Don't you remember? Remember what? You appear to be suffering from memory loss. Let me explain everything as quickly as I can. Your name is Yugi. You're the leader of the resistance here in Makad. We were planning our next attack when you passed out. We've tricked the Imperial forces into splitting up, and Itos, ruler of these lands, is left with few guards. It was the perfect chance for us to break the Emperor's repressive hold, and we're just about ready to attack. Is any of this coming back to you? Anything at all? No. None of it. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But it sounds like I'm expected to take command of the resistance. That is correct, Lord Yugi. You are, after all, Supreme Commander of the Resistance. Without you, we don't even have enough marshals. You must lead on the front lines. Marshal? Oh dear. Have you forgotten everything? Marshals are a type of general and are central to a battle. Marshals can control monsters and engage in battle by pitting their monsters against those of the enemy. Each monster has incredible power equal to that of several thousand human soldiers. So this game is kind of hinting at with what Shimon here is telling us. The game is not going to play like a card game. It's actually going to play much closer to an RPG game tied with real-time strategy. This is why the marshals hold the key to the victory in any battle. However, the number of men with this power over monsters is small. Including you, the Resistance has but 3. So you're telling me that I have this special martial ability? You have it in spades, sir. although I'm afraid that your powers might be weaker in your current state. You will just have to get it back slowly in battle. In the beginning, I will assist in your recovery, Lord Yuki. Remember that the Imperial units usually have a marshal assigned to them as well. You will need to get your battle instincts back if you are going to defeat the Imperial marshals. For the time being, we need to finish planning our strategy and organize our units. Come this way. Well, this is a fine mess we're in. I know. It doesn't feel like we have any control over the game. I think it's safe to assume that we're trapped in this fantasy game world. They have been planning on using us as their lab rats from the beginning. I wonder if the rest of our friends are here too. It's likely. They're probably all just as confused by whatever character roles they've been thrown into as well. We've got to find a way out of here. I don't know how much of what the SIC techies told us is true, but they did say that this is a game. Uh-huh. Then it's got to have an ending, right? Maybe if we play the game and clear all the levels, then it'll lead to a way out. That makes sense. That doesn't make sense. Reaching the end of the game could mean that if it's hacked and designed to kill you, you just die. That's just as likely to save you as it is not save you. With help from the rest of our friends, we're sure to find a way home. That seems to be our best bet for now. Please, look carefully at the map of Rondeval. This is Makat, where we are right now. And this is the target of our next battle. We're going to liberate the rest of Vaxi Island. In order to do that, we've got to take control of Tsugut, the provincial capital to the east. I see. The Tsugut is a large central castle in the northern section. It's well defended and houses a large fighting force. We won't stand a chance if we attack head-on. First, we've got to get them to divide up their force. We should be able to lure some units away from the capital by liberating nearby lands, places like Itos Makai. We've already managed to thin out the defenses at Makai. Let's attack in force and take our first victory. Okay, what should I do? You will direct your marshals on the field of battle and attack the enemy main base. I'm certainly not as strong as you, but I will also command a team of monsters and assist you. Just remember that none of your other marshals are nearly as powerful as you are. We depend heavily on you. Your success on the battlefield is key to the success of the resistance. There will be many other details to plan. Let's start with organizing our units for the difficult battle ahead. What do you mean by organizing? As you may remember, I mentioned a little while ago that the enemy army has its own marshals. Only a marshal commanding his own monsters can stand any chance against an enemy marshal. No matter how weak a marshal may be, he can command up to 3 monsters. We're fighting an enormous empire, and the number of and power of its monsters' units are just as frighteningly enormous. We must organize our monsters into units so that we can combat the enemy. Luckily for us, we have several monsters that are willing to fight for our cause. The first thing you need to do is organize the monsters into groups and assign them to your marshals. Each group of monsters is called a team. Please try to remember that, Lord Yugi. Let's start assembling our teams, shall we? After the teams are assembled, it's time to send them to battle. When you're ready, please let me know. Also, pay special attention to the center monster on each team. The monster is known as the team's leader in that placement, and the team's movement speed is determined by the speed of its leader. I understand. I'll start by assembling my teams. Okay, that was a lot the game just kind of threw at us. But each character has, there's several mechanics this game doesn't really tell you very well. And I'm about to try and explain as many of them as I can to you right now, so that we can kind of get the info dump out of the way and then explain it as it goes. Yugi is the strongest marshal that we have. The game really wants you to believe that. Okay? Shimon is the second marshal that we have, and Fizdus is the last one. Shimon and Fizdus are characters from Forbidden Memories. If you don't remember them, you either didn't play Forbidden Memories, or you might not have the best memory in the world, because Fizdus is a side character that appears for about 5 frames, and Shimon is very heavily prevalent in the beginning, but disappears pretty quickly after that. You will notice that there are battle points, life points, and action points for each character. Those are actually the battle points, action points, and life point bonuses provided by the Marshal. They affect and alter the status of the monsters underneath that Marshal. The more a Marshal levels up through experience in battle, the more that Marshal is capable of actually unleashing bonuses on their monsters, such as increasing their health, increasing the amount of actions they can take, and increasing their damage. But you will also notice there's a sphere here right next to action points just to the right. That sphere is the attribute of the creature, or of the creature's master. The creatures can slowly bleed into his attribute the more they're used by him, and the inverse is also possible. The inverse, however, can only happen if they don't have enough monsters to tie them to a specific attribute. If they do, then the monsters will slowly bleed into his attribute. Only monsters of that attribute can receive bonuses from the actual lord. So, if, say, you'll notice how all 3 of these monsters are green, light green, and dark. Well, they're not actually going to get any benefit from being with Yugi. Fizdus here has 3 monsters as well. Kanikabuto, Horn Imp, Penguin Soldier, and then Shimon has Beaver Warrior, Shadow Spectre, and Zombie Warrior. None of these monsters are particularly good creatures. Yugi starts with Feral Imp, Celtic Guardian, and Karibo. Every monster has the potential to learn a skill as it levels up enough. Some monsters do not learn skills. Some monsters do learn skills. Monsters that learn skills are often not as powerful as some of the game's strongest creatures, but they make up for it by having a ton of action points. Action points are actually really important when it comes to monsters, because if a monster doesn't have an action point, it can't continue to act in a battle. The more action points it has when a battle starts, the more it can act after the battle continues. These 3 monsters here, don't get used to them. I will be replacing them fairly quickly with other monsters in Yugi's lineup. And that's just because they're not, like, none of the monsters that we start with are good monsters. I will be doing my best to show you how to acquire as many of the monsters as I can, but you cannot acquire all the monsters in one singular playthrough. You will have to go through a New Game Plus run for challenge mode in order to unlock the rest. That is unfortunately a requirement. Now, the game will try to tell you that you should only take Shimon and Yugi. That's because the more marshals you take, the more money it's going to cost you. Money is a very finite resource in this game. There's a cheat code that you can spam to consistently get more money so that you can buy whatever you want. I am going to, however, take Fizdus regardless of the expense, because Fizdus needs to level up too. Everybody here needs to level up. Ideally, though, in order to make a really good team for a marshal, you want to try and find monsters that align with that marshal's attribute. That's where they will get the most out of their experience points and the most out of the bonuses from those lords. And you can already see how Yugi is a better marshal. He starts out with 2 bonus action points and 2 bonus battle points, rather than just 1 like Shimon and Fizdus. Don't get used to me using these 2 characters either, because they're not going to be very useful for very long. When we get Yugi's teammates in Joey, Tristan, and Taya, they will end up being much more useful. You can use the Z button to save between levels. I highly recommend doing this, as this game's idea of missions can be very time-consuming, particularly if you don't know what the hell you're doing. The Resistance is about to engage in its first battle. Let us take victory this day. As you can see, there are 4 villages, including the enemy main base at Makad and the base at Jakud. Thanks to our earlier planning, the main enemy force is much smaller than it once was, and is not massed nearby. The ruler Itos has no idea that we're ready to attack. Let's take this chance to secure our position in the area. First, send someone to free the village of Ruzum. It's not very far from Jakud. The village is filled with supporters of the resistance. It will be a good foothold from which we can attack. As we free the nearby villages from the repressive imperial rule, they will offer us items and money. We need both these things to help build up our force, so we should try to free as many places as possible. Currently, all of our teams are holding position in Jakud. Let's select teams and send into battle from Jakud, and send them to the village of Rothum. To send a team into battle, position the cursor over the town the team is in and press the A button. Select the command for the team to carry out. Finally, move the cursor to the location you want the team to go to and press the A button. This will dispatch the team.
Okay, it's time to go to battle.
Okay, that's Ruthum. That's Fadun. Move these creatures down here. You want Yugi to actually go to Fadun first. And then, I believe somewhere in this forest, we're supposed to find a monster. Come on, Silverfang, where are you? I know you're in there.
Is it an ambush?
There he is. This is one of several ways you can find monsters. They will often try to engage you in battle because they want to try and take you down. However, some of them that you will find randomly, you can engage, and if you defeat them, you will unlock them. And we really want Silverfang. Mostly because he's just way better than Karibo. No! That's how you do it. Okay. How do I... Fuck. It's not gonna let me fight him again. Okay. What the fuck? So I guess I'm gonna have to just intentionally lose the fight. Because I lost out on Silverfang. You actually have to beat him, and I didn't. I hit escape by accident. And that's one of the reasons why this game is not always the best. If you lose a fight with a gang of monsters that you're trying to recruit, you don't get any of them, and you can't fight them again until you lose the map and redo the level, which you can do. That's him basically saying, don't let yourself lose your commander and your main army commander, which in this case is me. So I'm just gonna let Yugi get his ass kicked here to get Silverfang. Notice these guys don't have a lot of action points either. I won! Somehow. That counted as a victory. Ladies and gentlemen, when your game is lame because it doesn't have a restart mission button. Oh wow, guarding gives you 300 points. Come on. Just finish killing them off now. Oh my god. This is kind of how you can tell their team is also god awful. He missed! That's actually how you can tell they missed. If they unleash an attack and the monster doesn't animate to react to it, that's how you know the attack did not actually hit them. This Marshal is taking his precious time figuring out how to kill my monsters. Yes, kill Karibo. Kill him. Kill the scrub. Oh my god, he couldn't even kill the scrub. It can be frustrating when your attack misses, but it usually doesn't happen that often. There's also monsters that, and I love them for it, there are monsters that have special abilities that make it really hard for the enemy to hit you, and they break half the fucking game wide open. Hit me. Hit me! Quit guarding and hit me. Okay, Karibo's dead. All that's left is the Celtic Schmardian. The obnoxious Celtic Schmardian. I mean Guardian. I actually like Celtic Guardian. I'm not a big fan of Feral Imp. I'm not a big fan of Karibo. I've never been a fan of Karibo. But I like Celtic Guardian. Celtic Guardian is a cool monster. Yes! I'm dead! I'm dead and we can start this mission over. I love the little, like, wave hand that was above Hitatsumi Giant's hand there. That was, like, one of the dumbest things ever. That hand looked like it was going, bye, have a beautiful time. Fun fact, if you lose a fight, it doesn't really matter all that much because you will retain the EXP that you lost. Now we're just going to speed through this because it's the same dialogue from last time. It took me like 10 minutes to die because I fucked up fighting Silverfang. And Silverfang's not going to be a permanent addition to Yugi's team either, but Silverfang is actually going to be there for a while. And, I mean, the tactic that I employed wasn't incorrect. There are some missions where you will see me do that. I'm gonna beat your ass, Furball! I'm gonna beat it! I kinda like the Feral Imp's attack. I just wish it was a lightning blast. Yeah, it's basically Pikachu's tackle. Wham! The battle animations for this game are alright. They're actually not bad. They're not great, though. Smack the shit out of you. Bad dog! I'll sing you the song of my people so hard that it hurts you. Sonic Storm just does not feel like an attack that he would use. At least not to me. Maybe it's...
Yeah, that's what I feel like it would be. Or have him do the tackle animation. Oh, we got him! I was worried that might not quite kill him, but you don't actually have to kill the monster in order to be able to capture it. You just have to beat it. Silverfang has joined your forces. Yugi, actually, go up there. Every mission has a global timer. That timer pauses when you go into battles, but you should never be in danger of actually losing to that. If you are, you're playing this game horrifically wrong. Also, yes, my monster leveled up. Your monsters level up in this game. Every time they level up, they get a little bit stronger. It buffs their attack, it buffs their defense, it buffs their HP. It just makes them a little less crappy. Let's send Shimon and Fizdus out so I can show off a few new monsters, and I believe give Yugi time to heal. Okay, maybe his monsters won't heal. I think you actually have to install a healer in the city to get that. There's a zombie warrior right there. Is this with the Feral Imp? Or no, that's Horn Imp. That's Horn Imp, not Feral Imp. Horn Imp, Kanikabuto, and Penguin Soldier. This is not a good team. This is an ass team. Alright, we want to actually attack the Caterpillar first, because the Caterpillar has the weakest hit points. And we just turn into a living Beyblade and miss. That's why you missed. You missed because you're a Beyblade. I can just spawn bubbles near you. So that's how that works. Why does the Marshal have 1,000 points? That's a little ridiculous. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yeah, that's done. Beyblade! He's getting more turns than I don't know what influences that. He missed again. Oh my god. Is that why he got so many points? A miss gives you bonus points? Oh, wow, that's dirty. Damn, I forgot about Beyblade too. It's funny what the difference between Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon Bakugan and Digimon O and Monsuno. I mean, Bakugan was basically those little figurine toy things. I don't know, I didn't get into Bakugan. I didn't get into Monsuno either. I did get into Digimon for a while, but ultimately Digimon just kind of started annoying me. Because they went from having a line to I can just sort of transform this thing into whatever the hell I goddamn well please. And then it's like, well, at that point, why the hell are there so many Digimon?
Beyblade. I really don't understand why he constituted a victory when he lost one of his monsters and I didn't lose any of mine. But okay, that just means Fizdus gets almost no experience, which is aggravating. Pokemon is alright. I don't mind Pokemon at all. I like Pokemon, actually. Beaver Warrior! I guess I could try to explain a little bit of these monsters. Shadow Spectre in the actual card game is a weak, normal monster with little to no real value. He's got 500 attack and 200 defense. He has no special skills. He's never been reprinted. He's really nothing special. Zombie Warrior is a low-level fusion monster. He is really bad. He's also nothing special, honestly. But Zombie Warrior can at least actually have enough attack points for big damage. I remember watching some episodes of the Beyblade show on VHS. If it was on VHS, it was probably the original Beyblade. Beaver Warrior was used in Yugi's deck, and I believe it appears in a couple of additional episodes after that. But Beaver Warrior was not a particularly well appreciated monster. That was Shadow Spectre. There we go. And mess up the giant. Now that counts as a loss for him. Sure. Only ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh! From the one with the motorcycles and the crossover movie of Yu-Gi, the motorcycle in the school. That's Bonds Beyond Time. Bonds Beyond Time kind of sucked. It was literally just like, hi, here's a 40-minute duel special. I guess. Her team is in decent condition. His team, he's gonna lose Zombie Warrior. Okay, I'll let her soften up the actual boss. Every time you kill a Marshal's minion, by the way, there's a set timer that plays in the background the game doesn't tell you about. Oh, she's got to actually finish the Marshal off. What I just did there was wait out his guard. You will notice that even though there are star chips to indicate that his other two monsters have actions, they can't act. That's because they're dead and it doesn't matter. And the action points that they have is not divided amongst the ones who are still alive. Don't know on the villain's motivation. You were also watching Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. 5Ds is actually a really good continuation. GX is okay. I feel like GX is a little too lighthearted and stupid sometimes, but it's okay.
You insolent runt! How dare you! This will be the last mistake you make!
You're the last one! Prepare to accept defeat!
Ah! Traitors! How dare you revolt against the Empire! I'll take some of you with me before I'm done!
Sure you will. Oh, the villain from Bonds Beyond Time just wanted to eradicate duel monsters from history. Oh, he got another action point already. Wow, I might actually keep Penguin Soldier around. Having a lot of action points is key to that. He wanted to eradicate duel monsters because he believed that that was the catalyst for all of the horrible actions committed by Pegasus, Merrick, Yami Merrick, Kaiba, and the numerous villains over the course of the other franchises of the franchise. You know, Darts, the Superintendent, the Light of Destruction, the Great Leviathan, the Orichalcos. Ooh, critical. He was trying to obliterate all of that because he wanted it all to cease to exist. He thought that if he destroyed duel monsters, none of that would happen. Oh, damn. And the thing is that eradicating duel monsters wouldn't have done anything. It would have just created another vector. These three monsters are Basic Insect, Blackland Fire Dragon, and Swordsman from a Foreign Land. None of these creatures actually did anything meaningful in the card game. None of them did anything meaningful in the TCG. They don't really have any anime appearances. The few appearances they do have, they're basically cards inside someone's briefcase. Her Penguin Soldier the way these two are going. But La Paradox's idea of being a villain was, yeah, you killed one of my monsters and I didn't kill any of yours. I figured that was gonna happen. Alright, let's let Shimon have a turn to whittle him down. On Zombie Warrior. Okay, Swordsman from a Foreign Land is down. Just lost Zombie Warrior. Nope. Yep. Nope, he missed! Oh my god! That was luck! Blind, stupid, doodah, clueless luck. Yep, and there we go. Okay, Blackland Fire Dragon is out of support. Lead out the guard animation. Oh, and I missed the attack. Damn, that was another crit. Now, my problem with this game is that all these action point things are a nice little resource to manage, but here's the thing. What they really do is they kind of drag out the tedium of the fight. Because they force you to have to engage this guy multiple times. And he's not truly defeated until he runs out of creatures. Come here, bitch. Blackland Fire Dragon is the strongest monster here. You might have realized that already just by the fact that it has the highest HP and was doing the most damage. The main reason why I attacked and got rid of Swordsman from a foreign land first is because he had the weakest amount of HP, so he took the weakest amount of action points in economy to destroy. Basic Insect was the next strongest. I was wiping out their action economy in order to take them down. $700 gold. And that's our first victory. Our actions here have stirred the people in these lands to fight back against the Empire. The noble families in the area are offering to assist us financially. If we continue to win like this, the resistance should grow nicely. The Empire is confused right now, but it's only temporary. They'll soon send units to hunt us down. Let's take this opportunity to secure our positions and fight off the enemy. Now, it's time for you to make an appearance, Lord Yugi. The people want to meet their savior. Blackland Fire Dragon has joined your forces. Monster Reborn and 2 blue medicines have been acquired. We also acquired 1,162 gold from all that. Fury of the Empire. Yugi's resistance army decides to undertake its next mission before the Empire strikes back. Reference to Star Wars? I mean, what? With Sugut confused about what to do, the resistance plans to free a large agricultural village in the south. Our success in freeing the Makad area has strengthened the determination of the resistance. Let's strike the stores of the Imperial forces while morale is high. We can cut them off from their supplies. The southern part of the island is mostly farmland. The Empire works most of the farmers like slaves. If we can free this area, all supplies to Sugut will be cut off, and we'll gain a significant advantage. However, General Sebakal is one of the fiercest generals in the regular Imperial Army, and he appears to be in control of this region. Sebakal is a dangerous foe, well known for his ferocity. I don't believe he has a large force with him, but we should still be careful not to make any mistakes. That reminds me, I believe we have received some items in our last engagement. You can use those items by equipping the monsters with them. Just remember that you can't change your mind once you send a monster into battle. When preparing for battle, think carefully about which item to give which monster. Okay, now the guide I'm using to find all the monsters in the game so that I don't miss them recommends putting Blackland Fire Dragon in here, in Yugi's forces? No, replace Karibo with Silverfang. Shimon actually needs Blackland Fire Dragon a lot more. Replace Shadow Spectre with Blackland Fire Dragon. Now the problem with Blackland Fire Dragon is that its defense is shit, but it's got a decent damage output, so keep that in mind. Actually, we'll give Celtic Guardian the blue medicine. He can be the medic. No. No, actually. We'll give that to Silverfang. because Silverfang is weaker and does less damage. And then he can be their medic. And Shimon, I guess, will give Beaver Warrior Monster Reborn in case he needs to revive a monster. Because Shimon has a lot of glass cannons. Red Eyes Black Dragon? No, Blackland Fire Dragon. Yugi is using war as a business to end war as a business. Armstrong would be proud. I mean, technically, I guess. I'll be right back. I need to grab some food. They're room temperature. And we keep them by the fridge. Okay, sorry.
It's awfully quiet. There doesn't appear to be any enemy movement.
Yes, we seem to be lucky. The enemy doesn't seem to know that we're here. According to our scouts, the closest fort... Let's see here. Okay. The closest fort isn't guarded at all. Let's use this opportunity to take the fort and fortify a defensive position there. Okay, so we lose if Yugi gets taken down or Din Farm falls to the enemy. So this is the trader. Not every single one of these is going to have a trader, but traders are an option. I'm going to buy about 8 of those. And the rest of this is not actually worth spending any money on. Okay. Send Yugi to do what exactly? Wathu. Is this Wathu? Yes. You can kind of guess what's going to happen here. Okay, there's a forest. One of these forests has another hidden monster for us. I actually want to send Shimon up here. I'm gonna leave Fizdis where she's at right now.
We've successfully taken the fort from the enemy. The few guards that were here have run off. It won't be long before they learn of our attack and try to retake the fort. General Sebekle's unit is powerful. What do you think of building equipment to increase the fort's defenses?
What do you mean by equipment?
Equipment are offensive and defensive additions to made to a castle or fort that provide an advantage in battle. For instance, you could install a large cannon to fire at approaching forces, or construct a barricade. To install additions, position the cursor over the castle or fort and select Equipment. Then select an addition from the list with the A button and it will be installed. Of course, each new piece of equipment requires money, so be sure to plan carefully. So, I'm going to install an anti-ground cannon here just to show this off. I've got way more money than I need right now. And then I'm going to install a healer here so that my forces that I put in here can regenerate health after a fight. Healers are expensive, so be very careful where you put one. Alright. Embodiment of Apophis. That crab monster again. And I don't know what that third one is. We're gonna beat the crap out of a crab. Oh, did he just guard? Okay. We'll beat his ass then. Has a blue medicine. Normally when you figure out who the medic is, you kind of need to prioritize them with all due haste. If the monster holding the blue medicine dies, the whole team loses access to it. Oh, Celtic Guardian leveled up again. You can use a healer as a means to rapidly restore the health of certain creatures. And since Celtic Guardian nearly died in that last fight, obviously I wanted to make sure he lived. That's expensive too, so watch your resources. Please don't miss. Yes! His whole squad just lost the ability to heal. Excuse me. I don't know two of the three monsters here very well. I know the center monster on the opponent's team, that's Embodiment of Apulpus. Embodiment of Apulpus is a trap monster card used by Odeon against Joey Wheeler during the Battle City tournament. Oh. Well, that sucks. I think that's Elvaret that I'm attacking right now. And the issue with Embodiment of Apulpus is that it was a 1600 attack, 1800 defense trap monster. It activates like a trap and then takes over a monster space and a spell and trap card space, which inarguably makes them kind of bad creatures to rely on because they take a lot of resources just to have on the field, and they're not really that strong. They did spawn a series of pretty interesting cards, though. Their successor spirits exist in decks like Paleozoics, and oh, nice. Everybody leveled up there. Good. The Paleozoic deck was a really interesting trap monster deck. It still kind of is, although it's not really that viable these days. You'll notice his monsters are regenerating health slowly now, thanks to that. Healer. Healer also activates passive regen. His aggression is excessive here at this point because he's lost two monsters and now he pretty much can't fight back reasonably. If he guards, wait him out. It costs you a few points every time you have to hit wait, but wait him out. Because then you can deal damage. And now he's going to die. Or I could miss. And then accidentally hit the wait button. Okay, he's out of actions, but I'm going to show this off anyway, and I keep missing attacks. Activate a blue medicine and use this to regenerate the health of Celtic Guardian. Blue medicine's kind of like this game's version of a Final Fantasy potion. It restores a percentile amount of health. The only reason we technically won is because he had no monsters left to fight with. By the game's scoring system. Alright, send Fizdis over there. Yugi is going to take some time to rejuvenate. Gonna move Shimon up here. Oh, Zarigun and Creole. Okay, that wasn't Elvaret, that was Creole. He has Three-Headed Guido, Midnight Fiend, and Dark Rabbit. Dark Rabbit's the only one that showed up in the anime. There's Larvamoth, Dark King of the Abyss, and Snakehair. All of those showed up in the anime, actually. Alright. Beat on the caterpillar. So, Larvamoth was Weevil Underwood's signature insect monster. His favorite thing to do was to play that, wrap it in Cocoon of Evolution, and then transmogrify it into the Great Moth or Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. By itself, that card is practically worthless. Dark King of the Abyss shows up in a couple of players' hands, and then later appears in the Virtual World arc where they engage against Noah as a monster that Yugi has to destroy in a series of hallways. And then he never shows up again. Then the snake hair is used on multiple occasions. It shows up in the hand of Bones and then actually put to work by Bones in his duel against Joey, and then later actually used by it was actually used by Bones in his duel against Yami Bakura. Shortly before Yami Bakura kicked his ass. Okay, we need to target Snake here. She does not have the ability to petrify monsters, by the way. I did way more damage and had way better survivability, but I lost, quote unquote. I should probably heal my Horned Imp before he dies. And the way he's going, he's gonna die. Oh god. Okay, he's alive. And he missed.
Nanomachines, son!
Come on, Kamikabuto, finish her off. Come on. Damn it! Ugh. He should be able to take one more hit. Okay, there she goes. Ah! So, here's how items work. You can use them in battle at the expense of an action point, which is fine. The items then work on a number of limited uses. You'll notice that a blue medicine can't be used more than 7 times. If you use it 6 times... Oh, wow, that was a big critical. Big crit. If you use it 6 times out of 7, though, and you don't expend that last use in a fight, you can, if you complete a battle, you can then refill all 6 of those uses for another fight. There we go, got another level up for my Horn Imp. Green crab monster looks like the Kingler knockoff. It kind of is. See, what installing a healer does is it triples the regeneration factor. So they heal at 3 times the speed. Just making sure that these guys are fully healed. Celtic Guardian's almost ready to go. You'll notice that because he's leveled up 4 times, his stats are way higher than when he started. it's time for Shimon to fight this guy. He's got Urabi, Tiger Axe, and the stuffed animal. Urabi was in the anime used by Rex Raptor once in a duel against Joey. Joey used Tiger Axe a few times, and in every instance where he did use it, it was kind of terrible. And he guards right away with Urabi and his stuffed animal. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay the pain down on his Tiger Axe. And now we're going to wait him out. Because he guarded with all of his monsters. Rodent sword. It's not actually a rodent sword he's using, that's a gladius. Okay, his stuffed animal is the weakest monster he has and has no more action points. It's time to lay the pain down on that. Try and take him out. Ow. Burn! Finish him off, Blackhead. Come on. Kill him with this attack. Yes! Okay, let's pile on more pain on the Tiger Axe. Ooh, that was a crit! Nice! That Tiger Axe is going to go down in one more hit. And you can kind of see why Shimon and Fizdis are not good marshals. A lot of their level ups are very empty. Some of Yugi's are, a lot of theirs are empty. Get him! Good boy. Urabi is the only one left. And I am going to guard with my, my Black Knight, because I don't want to lose it. Ooh, nice crit! Oh, I don't have any healing items with this squad. Okay. I'm gonna have to be aware of that. Do some bow damage. We're gonna wait out that guard. So you lose 50 points every time you use the wait command. There that guy goes. There we go, level up for all of my creatures. 800 more gold. Okay, so we just got back what we spent on the healers, on one of the healers. So that's good news. I'm gonna leave Shimon where he is for right now. He probably needs to recover anyway. Come on, Yugi, find him. I know he's in there. It's gotta be in here somewhere. Okay, Fizdus is recovered. Is it this forest I need to go investigate? Okay, Fizdus, you've recovered. Attack that city. Oh yeah, this guy's got... Yeah. Dark Rabbit is a monster that has appeared in the actual anime. Pegasus used it against Kaiba. Trying to make sure he doesn't die. Don't worry, the Midnight Fiend does not actually inflict poison, despite what that said. So Midnight Fiend is easily the weakest monster here, so we actually want to focus on taking him out. Razzle dazzle! That's a stupid name for an attack, my friend. I'm a Beyblade penguin! Oh, he's guarded. Uh-oh. You're all trying to gang violate my penguin? Ha! Joke's on you. He's the medic. Liz, you're alive! It's good to know you're alive! Are you going out tonight? Yes, I will be. I know. Yeah, I technically lost, even though I did way better than they did. At first, I didn't understand why I was quote-unquote losing at all. You were attacked by roaming monsters. The roaming monsters here are Man-Eater Bug, Hane-Hane, and Mystic Horseman. Of these three, honestly, only one of them is actually worth getting. and it's Mystic Horseman. But we are going to collect all 3 of them. That weapon does not actually inflict paralysis, don't worry. Alright, so our goal is to take out Maneater Bug and try to take out Hane Hane. The serious boost in points that we're going to get from that is going to hopefully allow us to overpower them on a point scale. Because if you beat them in the point system, even if you don't kill them all at once, that will get them all to join you. Oh, and now they're getting a lot of bonus attacks. Okay, that's 3 of their actions denied. And we got a nice little point boost from taking them out. I could probably take Hane Hane after the last 2 actions. And he missed, so I just got a serious point boost. Rev, I got a big back. Look at this man. Yeah! The very first time I fought those guys, I actually lost that according to the point system. So, Mystic Horseman, Hane Hane, and Maneater Bug have joined your forces. Fizdus is going to capture this area by the time Yugi gets over here. I am actually going to use another blue medicine on the Horned Imp to make sure that he doesn't get killed in this fight. And then I'm going to start cracking on the 3-headed Vito. Going to take him out. Oh wow, that did not do a lot of damage. And he's guarding with 3-headed Vito, so we're now attacking the Dark Rabbit. He's guarding with 3-headed Vito again, so we're going to continue to maul Dark Rabbit. I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Had guns in it at the start, but 4Kids censored it. Picked up D&D Comp for me and Spartan, by the way, from the list he gave me. Awesome! In terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! Having guns in it, the 4Kids dub censored all of the guns and replaced them with either empty air or, in one special hilarious case, a slingshot. They also edited out all of the blood that the anime had, not the game. It's actually not 4Kids that did that, though. It was actually the Western censors. Most Western American censorship parties that got a hold of it basically told 4Kids they can't have any frickin' guns or anything like that at all in here. And if they tried to include them, then they were gonna block the show. So 4Kids actually were forced to allow censors to censor all of the firearms. And what little foul language the show actually had. So, BRB for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's okay, Liz. So that kind of happened. That was, and I, for the longest time, I thought 4Kids was responsible for that. And so did a lot of people, and it actually wasn't. It was the Western censorship, it was the FCC. So thanks, FCC! Screw you guys! You made the English dub of that anime incredibly stupid. We still got great voice acting out of it, but like, oh my god, the level of dumbass censorship that went into it. Ooh, got a crit. Look at that damage. Beyblade Penguin. It's so stupid. Fucking Beyblade Penguin. Kami Kabuto and Hornet, both leveled up. Dumb westerns. Ooh, I got a legendary sword. That's actually better than you think it is. Okay, Yugi and Fizdus need to be able to heal. I am actually going to put another healer in here. And I'm going to look at what the trailer, or not the trailer, the trader has available. Excuse me. Wow. Night Adept monsters. Violet Crystal and Dark Energy and Dragon Treasure used to be equip spells. They're equip spells in the TCG. And they enhanced Dragon Treasure, obviously enhanced dragons. Violet Crystal enhanced zombies. And Dark Energy enhanced fiends. If we wait too long, the boss will revive his minions, so we actually have to play this with something resembling speed. They're quite dumb because they'd rather allow that stuff in other things. The main reason why they didn't allow the censorship to why they were so heavy about censorship for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because Yu-Gi-Oh!'s trading card game very quickly became extremely popular with very young kids. And they knew the TV show was going to attract viewership through the trading card game. And that's why they forced it to work that way. So, as stupid as it is, and I'm going to agree with you, it's stupid, there was logic behind it, and it wasn't lack logic. You could call it greed all you want because they wanted the card game to sell, but they're still not wrong because, like, a lot of the stuff in that show, little kids probably would not have handled very well. Because instead of the Shadow Realm, what it actually was in the anime was you weren't going to the Shadow Realm, you were being banished to hell. So you're talking about 5 to 7-year-olds learning about hell, and now they have to have the religion conversation, which they're not old enough to properly understand at 5 to 8 for most children. Let kids see that stuff.
You've done well for a bunch of misfit rebels. It's been a long time since an enemy got me this excited, but playtime is over! It won't be long before you beg Sebekal for mercy!
Sebekal's, artwork may also be familiar to you if you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, Sebekal was, Sebek. who was one of the guards of Heishin, the antagonist of that game. Parents' problem. Yes, that's the parents' problem, but when you create a commercial series that runs on that shit, and then you make that the parents' issue, the parents kind of lose a lot of control. They can only control what their kids watch so well, and yes, that is a parental issue. Like, I'm not going to take that away from you. But I will acknowledge where that is also kind of a flawed way to think about it. Like, that's, you know, this is a child's card game, and you're telling me that kids need to watch somebody take the Millennium Rod and reveal that the Millennium Rod is actually a Millennium Sword, so not only can I control people's minds, I can stab somebody to death, because in the original version of the anime, Merrick doesn't banish his father to the Shadow Realm. Yami Merrick stabs his father to death. And there's blood everywhere. And then you have, so, like, there's a scene where Yugi's grandpa is basically doing a flashback to when he raided the Pharaoh's tomb like Indiana Jones. He gets shot in the back, dude. Jesus, this guy actually has some tough monsters. Now, I think the way they edited that series was pretty stupid, because a lot of the way they edited it was they changed what was said so that it would come off completely differently, which is dumb, because the English version ended up making no sense. No, the blood wasn't swapped. The blood was edited out. There's, like, one of the dumbest ways they edited the show was when Yugi duels Arcana, in the English dub they call those blades dark energy discs. Those are not dark energy discs, they're buzzsaws. The loser of that duel was going to have their legs sawed off. And Arcana was crazy enough to do that. And then, of course he lost, and Yami Yugi was about to let him get his legs sliced off and watch. And in order to avoid actually showing you the saw blades, because we can't see the saw blades, that's not child friendly, they turned the saw blades bright purple and then called them dark energy discs. Yes, it was dumb. It was incredibly stupid. Oh my god, I guarded and he got a crit and still killed my penguin soldier. Oh, you bastard. The blood was just straight up removed in virtually every sequence where it would be there. And the editing was extremely poor because you see the guards that are chasing after Seto Kaiba in one scene. They're holding their fingers out like they've got a gun in their hand. Like they're holding their fingers out like their fingers are guns instead. And that was really dumb too, because that just made those guys look fucking stupid. So the scene where Kaiba, and as a kid, that scene never made sense to me. Because as a kid, I looked at that and I'm like, wait a minute, why doesn't Kaiba just kick the crap out of these guys? They're not armed. Well, in the actual Japanese dub, yes they are. They have guns. He kicked his fucking chair at him and then busted his way out of the window, because if he didn't, they were going to shoot him. But if you watch the dub and just the dub, you will never know that. My poor penguin soldier. He didn't get any EXP because he died. He's actually been one of Fizdus' more useful monsters. So, yeah, like... I mean... the editing to that show was so sloppy. They could have done so much better with the editing to make that actually look better. Like, I'm sorry, like, you could have just had the guns in their hands, have the artists redraw them so that they look like some kind of sci-fi weapon, maybe? Or redraw the guys' postures so that it looks like there are 4 or 5 of them instead of 1 or 2, and then, a Digimon show that had Digimon serve as a police force of some kind. Yeah, that's probably the thing. And then when there's 3 or 4 of them, it would make more sense for Kaiba to want to, you know, bust out the window and then get the hell out of there. Just add a couple more bodies to that scene. But they didn't redraw those scenes at all. They just digitally removed the firearms. Like in one editing sequence, they near the end when the scene I mentioned, the flashback that Grandpa Moto has, where he's basically Indiana Jones raiding the Pharaoh's tomb. Fun fact about that: the pistol that he was shot in the back with, they swapped out with a revolver. So instead of shooting him in the back like he was supposed to, he was hit in the middle of the back of his chest by a guy firing a slingshot rock. Which, slingshots can be lethal. I want people to understand. I do acknowledge, slingshots can be lethal. Are they lethal very often? No. He would have had to have shot him with a lethal bladed dart to kill him, or to threaten his life. Which, in that sequence, what happens in the Japanese dub is he actually, instead of getting hit by a slingshot, he's shot in the back. So blood spurts out of his chest because the bullet went all the way through. And yes, I think one of the Digimon shows did have a Digimon police force. I don't know which one. I only watched the very original series. Oh, hey, Yugi finally got a boost to his action points and health. Why Bart uses it as his signature weapon. Bart is a fucking troll.
Ah! You'll pay for that! I was going to let you live, but not now!
Yeah, you say that like you can stop me. Yugi! Yugi, it's you!
Oh, Tristan! What are you doing here?
Trapped in the game, just like you, I guess. Joey and the others are here too. I was just with him a little while ago. Kaiba is working for the Empire. After losing to him, we felt it was safer to split up.
Kaiba?
Yep. I'm not sure why he's here, but he is. Anyway, I came to the island to organize my own resistance army. I should have known you'd be leading the resistance.
It's the role I was given. Where is everyone else?
I don't know. We all separated and went underground to gather followers for the resistance. My guess is that they're still on the mainland trying to gather support and form new units. If we keep fighting against the Empire, we're sure to run into them again.
Good point. I don't think we have any other options anyway.
Since I'm already here, I'm yours to command, Mr. Resistance Leader.
At ease, soldier. It's good to have a familiar face on my team.
I cast Pot of Greed. What? Don't! Strategy. With the southern farms freed, the Resistance now controls the western half of Vaxi Island. But Kipulia, the ruler of Tsugut, has re-established order in the island capital and plans to subdue the Resistance. He has put his trusted marshal, Granus, in charge of a large force and dispatched them to the west. Granus' enormous army is moving steadily west along the Central Way, heading straight for Macau.
The Empire has finally dispatched a large unit to hunt us down.
The Resistance will suffer severe casualties if we try to fight them head-on. Do you have any suggestions, Shimon?
The Imperial forces don't consider us as a serious threat yet, and are not being as cautious as they should. Therein lies the opportunity.
What do you mean?
There is a fort along the Central Way, and the enemy plans to move its main force there on its way to Tsugut. The fort is completely empty right now. We might be able to spring a trap on them there.
Interesting. We can attack them with fire.
Exactly. I'll get started on the preparations immediately.
There's a meme with Pot of Greed and Exodia. The meme with Pot of Greed that you're thinking of is the meme where nobody knows what it does. Because everybody in the show constantly insists on reminding everybody of what that card does.
I played Pot of Greed so I can draw 2 cards from my deck.
Everybody has to tell you what that card does. That's the problem. Okay, So, Legendary Sword is an equipment item. You can give this to warrior-type monsters, and it will upgrade their attack points. So when I equip this to Celtic Guardian, his attack points go up by 500. Now he hits harder just by virtue of having that on it. So, Tristan joins us. He comes in with Giant Soldier of Stone, Gazelle the King of Mythical Beasts, and Swordsman from a Foreign Land. We're gonna swap out Swordsman from a Foreign Land with, where is it? Mystic Horseman. Because Mystic Horseman is less garbage. He also has the Constructor perk. That means he can build things cheaper. We want that. Fizdis has discount though, which is why you really want Fizdis. Fizdis can buy stuff from shops at a cheaper price. So you kind of want Fizdis for shopping. We've also picked up a red medicine. Red medicines, they restore all the life points of a monster when used, as opposed to some, but you get way less uses out of them. These can be a nice backup to add to your monsters when you're buying stuff, but I recommend stocking up predominantly on blue medicines because these will heal you more, more times and help you survive a lot more attacks. And I kind of bought enough to be able to outfit most of my soldiers with those right away. Alright, I'm going to stop the stream for this here and swap over to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. That and using Pot of Greed endlessly. So, I will see you guys here in a bit. I will turn the stream back on in just a couple of minutes. I've been Savage Hound Dusk. This has been Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom, and next time we'll be playing more Falsebound Kingdom as we try to clear the rest of Yugi's story mode. See you then!